Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm on Chess.com's Tactics Trainer, and I'm going to do a group of 3 puzzles and just share my thoughts along the way. Alright, so in this first one, my impression is that it should not be too difficult, because black has a mate in 1 threat, so this limits our choices greatly. Yeah, so we have to hit hard at the black king checks. There isn't a knight check, there isn't a bishop check. There's a rook check and a queen check. Okay. Well, it probably has to be one of them. I mean, trying to defend with f3, doesn't that run into bishop check here? This rook is brought to life. How are we looking material-wise? Okay, white is also down 2 minor pieces. So this maybe factors in. Yeah, this likely factors in. Maybe this is a draw. Okay, well, let's look at the crazy stuff. Queen to h7. There's 2 different ways to capture. Let's see I think this is actually more forceful. There is no king move. There's knight takes rook and knight here. On knight here, I know exactly what to do. You take the knight and its mate. So rook here, knight takes rook, then queen here. As crazy as it looks, that's actually drawing. Okay, this is a draw by perpetual check, repetition of position. So it's going to be rook to e8, knight takes rook, queen h7. King takes queen, and now the idea being knight f8, king h8, knight g6, king h7, knight f8, etc. f8 and g6, the knight will cover these 2 h-file squares, and the bishop covers g8. That must be what it is. Starting with a rook check. That's correct. Queen sack. So that we can save the game and bail out with this little perpetual check. Puzzle solved. Okay, let's try puzzle 2. Seen that type of idea before with the knight bouncing back and forth. So that was helpful, seeing that idea once before. We are staring at h2 here. We're playing as white. Okay, well, I'm looking at h2. Queen takes here. It's not a mate threat. King can always go here. But what do we have against black? Like, we don't have pressure on too much. Okay. Going here allows queen takes f2. Let's look at some forceful stuff. Any checks? No checks in this position. Okay. Can we maybe win the queen? I don't think so. h3? Possibly h3 to just shoo this knight away. Material-wise, how are we doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Balanced material. Okay. What more to look at? Just this has my attention right here. The 2 pieces in white's position. h3 to defend queen takes f2, and we throw a punch. It's not the answer, but it may be a step in the direction. h3, knight h6 appears to be the only safe square for the knight. h3, knight h6, and then can we... Wait a second. Might be something quiet as a start. Oh, man. This is... how to say... Okay, we might be allowing black to capture on h2 with check. Yeah, I think that is the answer. Or, this is the idea, to allow this capture. There aren't any checks against the black king. I should have also done a scan for unprotected pieces. This rook is unprotected. And we can target it. Queen to d4. So, black would have to react to that somehow. Notice the other thing our queen is doing from d4. It's pinning the knight to the queen. She's unprotected as well. So queen d4 observes some unprotected stuff directly, indirectly. And this sets up next h3. So queen d4, let's just say rook to b7. There's then h3, and we're picking up the knight. Knight moves, we pick up the queen. On queen d4, queen takes h2, king f1, there isn't a good follow-up check for black. And in that position, there's still two threats black needs to address. Queen takes rook, and queen takes knight. This bishop is an excellent defender against, the queen invading on h2, king just scoots over. You see these ideas with the one thing that's coming to mind for me is on the black end, when white goes forward with the Yugoslav attack, you'll see a rook move just to avoid a dark square bishop exchange. Or in other words, a fianchettoed bishop. Preserving it is very good. He's an excellent defender against major piece pressure. So I think we can allow queen takes h2. Queen d4 with this idea must be correct. Let's do it. That is right. Quiet move to start, and now the follow-up is h3. And we're going to scoop up some material. Yeah. Taking advantage of what? The unprotected pieces in this case. There weren't any fancy checks to start. Alright, let's try one last one. Oh boy. The knights are involved. But I think I see the solution. Or do I? No, I don't. I was thinking for a moment we just take the knight and then push the pawn, and how do you stop the pawn? But that's not correct. Because the queen can always revisit d8 with check and be controlling the promotion square and just getting behind the pawn. We're not going to be winning that. So let's look at something that's also forcing. Queen takes knight was with check, but how about just queen here? We have to be a bit careful. If our queen goes astray, if she's not defending d8, we have to worry about queen d8 stuff. Yeah. And our king is getting checked a bunch of times, so I'd like to avoid that. Black to move. Okay, suppose we insert this check. We got f2 covered, so on the check knight block, we just take the knight. Queen check, knight f8, or excuse me, f1. Check, knight f1, what next? If we just come back here, the knight blocks, at least. Yeah, we just repeat the position. So queen check, knight f1. How about then we can still insist on some kind of a mate with queen f6. Queen f6 is threatening queen f2, king in the corner, queen takes knight. Also, the queen on f6 is controlling d8. I'm thinking that this is it. Queen a1, knight f1, queen f6. How to stop mate? If the knight moves, we still just give check and then get to e1 next, and it'll be leading to mate. So I think at that point, after we go to a1 and then f6, white we'll need to play h3. And we could go to f2, king to h2, and then queen takes knight. We're just going to win the knight and, well, the game, but I don't think we're getting mate. I don't think we're winning the queen, so it must be the win of this guy here. Okay, let's put it on the board. That is correct. And now the queen goes here. That is correct. We give a check, and then we pick up the knight. That'll do it. Okay, well, feel free to leave any feedback to this video. Feel free to share how you did with these three in the comment section below. It's been a while since I did a group of 3 puzzles. Let me know in the comment section below. And as usual, I hope you got something out of it. That's all for now. Take care. Bye.